Yes. So our today's topics are all the Java basics we are going to cover for today's session. Okay. So in that the first topic is tokens, lexical units, or we can call it as a token. So a smallest individual unit in a program is known as token. Every smallest individual unit in a program is nothing but what? Token. Let's write one simple program where I am writing a simple program like this. Class demo, and here public static void main string args. Okay, and here I'm going to type what? System dot out dot println hello world. Here I declared one variable too. I have written one program. Okay, this is a simple Java program. In this Java program, every individual unit we are calling it as token. Every individual unit we can call it as a token. That means every single unit. Like this class is a keyword here, no? That class is one token. Demo is one token. This curly brace is one token. Public is one token. Static is one token. Void is one token. Main is one token. This parenthesis is one token. String is one token. Got it? Args is one token. This left square bracket, right square bracket, right parenthesis, left parenthesis, curly brace, semicolon, int. Okay, data type. Yeah, everything here individual unit is nothing but what? Token. Understood? This system is one token, and this dot is one token, out is one token, like that. Double quotes is one token, parenthesis is one token, like that. In a program, every individual unit we can call it as a token. So these tokens are of 5 types actually: keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. Keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. The first one is keywords. What are keywords generally? So actually, no, every programming language uses some words. Okay, those are nothing but predefined words. Actually, in the English language, there are so many words available. It's very difficult for us to recognize, to remember all those words. Yes or no? That's why what the scientist has done, he has taken some words. For each and every word, he has given a predefined meaning, and by using that words, we are going to write the programs. Okay, those words are nothing but keywords. Okay, so keywords are the words which has some predefined meaning defined to the compiler. Okay, understood my point? In the English language, there are so many words available. We can't remember all those words. We don't know all the words, right? That's why the scientist has chosen some words, and by using those words only, we are writing the programs. For each and every word, the scientist itself has provided a meaning for each and every word, and he is defined that meaning to the compiler, not to the developer or some other programmers. Yes, for each and every word he has given some meaning, and that meaning is explained to the compiler. Got it clear? So by using those words we are writing the programs. So what is keyword? It is nothing but these are the words which have some predefined meaning, which is defined to whom? Not to you, not to me, to the compiler. Okay, so these keywords cannot be used as identifiers. We cannot use these keywords as identifiers. Then what is mean by identifier, Bindu? Next I will say. Okay, next I will explain. Identifier means names given by the user or programmer. That is nothing but identifier. Okay, so these keywords cannot be used as what? Identifiers. That means whatever the keywords the JavaSoft people, James Gosling team provided, that keywords you cannot use it as the identifiers. If we are using the keywords as identifiers, okay, then what happens? Already some meaning is there for every keyword. Now, if we use the keywords as identifiers, we are giving a new meaning to that word which is not accepted by the compiler. Immediately compiler raises the error message. Got it clear? Understood? And these keywords must be written in lowercase letters. It is a rule. Keywords must be written in lowercase letters. These are also known as reserved words. These are also known as what? Reserved words, because already some meaning is reserved, right? That's why these are also known as reserved words. Understood? So there are so many words available in the English language, but it's very difficult for us to remember. That's why scientists has chosen some words, and for each and every word they have given a predefined meaning which is explained to the compiler already. And that keywords cannot be used as identifiers. If we do so, we are giving a new meaning to that which is not accepted by the compiler, and immediately it rises the error message. Okay, and this must be written in what? Lowercase letter. That is a naming convention. That means it's a rule. You should write all the keywords in lowercase letters only. And these are also known as reserved words because already those are reserved for some purpose, right? That's why. Actually, in Java, we have 53 reserved words available. In that, 3 reserved literals are there. Now you will get what is literal bindu. Next, okay, next topic. So here we have 3 reserved literals: true, false, and null. Okay, so 53 reserved words are there, I mean keywords. In that 3 reserved literals are there: true, false, null, and 50 keywords are there. In that 50 keywords, 48 used keywords are there and 2 unused keywords. Unused keywords means what? Those are there in Java, but we are not using. That's the thing. Go to keyword and const keyword. Okay, these 2 are the unused keywords in Java. Understood? 53 reserved words are there. In that 3 reserved literals: true, false, null, and 50 keywords are there. In that 48 used keywords and 2 unused keywords. 2 unused keywords are what? Go to and const. Got it? Next. 48 used keywords. Now that 48 used keywords we have divided into some, see, based on the use, right? We have divided, okay, into parts. Like, no, keywords for primitive data types, 8 primitive data type keywords are there: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. Okay, byte data type: short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. Keywords for flow control. Based on the flow control statements, right, we have 11 keywords available: if, else, switch case, default, while, do, for, break, continue, and return. And based on the exception handling mechanism, you know, right, yesterday I said, based on that 6 keywords are there: try, catch, finally, throw, throws, asset. And we have 12 modifiers actually, but default modifier is already added to the keywords for flow control. That's why here we are saying keywords for modifiers as 11. Default is also one modifier, but still we have added that to flow controls keywords. That's why here we are saying it as 11. Public, private, protected, static, final, abstract, synchronous, native, transient, volatile, strict FP. And we have class related keywords 6. Class, interface, implements, package, extends, import. These are the class related keywords: class, interface, implements, extends, package, and import. Object related keywords are 4: new, super, this, and instance of. Return type keyword 1 is there, that is known as void. And enum, which is nothing but a group of named constants. A similar type of named constants, if you group it together, that is known as enum. So which is added in 1.5 version. Got it? So these are all the 48 used keywords. These are divided into like this: keywords for primitive data types 8, flow control 11, exception handling 6, modifiers 11, class related keyword 6, object related keywords 4, return type keyword, and enum. Understood? Any doubt here?
No,
next. Yeah. Am I going fast?
No, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
We will go. Yeah, we will go deep into them like later, or.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Compulsory. Each and every keyword will use it.
Okay.
Each and every keyword will. I'll show you at the end of the session. Once the recording stops, right? I'll show you what exactly I'm going to explain in the class. Okay. Depends on the concepts, right? Everything I'll show it to you. Fine. So
okay.
The next one is identifiers. What is an identifier? Nothing but what? Whatever the names the user provides, the programmer provides, those are known as identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but what? Names of variables. The names given by the programmer or user in a program. What names will provide? Generally, what names will give? variable names, okay, array names, method names, class names, interface names, packages names, everything we are going to provide, you know. So whatever the names the user or the programmer is going to give in a program, okay, those are nothing but identifiers, okay. So identifiers are the names of variables, arrays, methods, classes, interface, packages, etc. given by the user in a program. So coming to the rules for constructing identifiers. There are so many rules, okay, like except alphabets, digits, underscore, dollar symbol, no other special character is allowed. If you use it also, you will be getting error, okay. So it will treat it as a invalid statement, okay. At the rate symbol is not allowed, but alphabets allowed and digits also allowed, okay. So alphabets, digits, underscore and dollar symbol also allowed, but no other special character allowed. Got it? Next, first character should not start with a digit. Of course, you can give the first character, you can use the digits, but not as a first character. First character should be either alphabet or underscore or dollar symbol. It should not start with digit. That is the rule, second rule. And you know the keywords, you know static is the keyword here and final is also a keyword here. That keywords you should not use it as identifiers. Keywords you should not. Here A, B, these are not keywords now. So these are, here you are taking A, B as integer variables. And here you are taking static and final. Static and final are what? Keywords, no? So the keywords you should not use it as identifiers. Got it? And there is no length limit for Java identifiers. That means you can give a variable name or any method name or array name with any length. No length limit at all in Java. But it's very comfortable for us to give a small names. But whereas when you go for C, 32 characters, 31 characters limit is there, no? Right? Here there is no length limit. Commas, blank spaces not allowed. See, here, if I give blank space, that is an error. You should not give any blank space. Gross salary, Bindu, I'm treating this gross salary as a single variable. Of course, if you are treating like that, you just combine both the words, okay, or else you put underscore here. But if you give space, that is an error here. And if you put comma, that's not an error, but gross will be treated as one variable identifier and salary will be treated as another identifier. Got it? It's a valid statement, but still both will be treated as separate things. Understood? And these identifiers are case sensitive. That means if you give small a and capital A, small a is treated separately and capital A will be treated separately. Got it? And predefined class names and interface names can be used as identifiers. Predefined class names and interface names can be used as identifiers. That means what? See, system is a predefined class provided by the JavaSoft people in java.lang package. String is also a class in java.lang package provided by scientist only. Runnable is a predefined interface, okay, which is there in java.lang package only. But you can use the predefined class names and interface names as identifiers. That is perfectly valid. Got it? Understood? So
Yes.
these are all rules for constructing. Yeah, tell me.
One question. Numbers we cannot use?
Numbers we can use, but it should not start with digit.
So I cannot write something like 1 ABCD or like that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. 1 second.
Okay. But straightforwardly, like I can use something like 1, 2, 3.
No.
No.
It should not start with digit.
Okay.
Identifier name should not start with digit. Compiler is the JVM. Okay. Now Java. See, I have taken class demo. Okay. Hello world I wrote. I'm saving this file where in E drive and here Java 2020. Okay. In this folder, I am saving this file as demo.java. Save it. I'll show you how to install Edit Plus and how to configure the compiler and interpreter here. Okay, I directly configured. So generally, if you type a Java program in Notepad, what you have to do is you have to go for command prompt and you have to type their Java C compiler, Java C command and Java command for compiling and executing the program. We'll use Eclipse also, but here this is the Edit Plus, which is very comfortable for us in the starting days, right? So here compiler JVM, compiler means Java C command. JVM means Java command, which is used for converting bytecode instructions to machine understandable format. Got it? And run with arguments, command line arguments, and Java disassembler. You know, right? Java disassembler, which will convert a bytecode to human readable format. Yes or no? All those things I configured in the Edit Plus. That I will show you. Okay, next step. So here what I am doing, I am just compiling. Okay, it's successfully compiled. Okay, and I am running now by pressing JVM, Control 1, Control 2. Hello world printed. Now, what are the rules I said? We'll remove this. What is the rule? Yeah, see here, except the alphabets, digits, underscore, dollar symbol, no other special character is allowed. Yes or no? So for that, what I am doing here? Int balance @ symbol I have given. Is @ allowed? No. Alphabet, digit, underscore, dollar symbol allowed. Okay. So, but I have given save. Control 1 is for compilation. You got error. See, identifier expected, semicolon expected, reached end of file while parsing. Got it clear? Like this, you will be getting the errors. And you asked for number, right? You can give number, balance of 2. I have given number here. Okay. But it is successfully compiled. Why? Because there is no error. Alphabets allowed, digits also allowed. But digits should not be as the first character. That's the point here. Digits should not be taken as first character. Okay, first character should not start with digit. It should start with either alphabet or underscore or dollar symbol, anything. But it should not start with a digit. Got it? So in the place of this, if I give underscore, it's perfectly compiled. See? And even if I give dollar symbol also, it's perfectly compiled. That's allowed. Understood? We can give digit, but not as a first character. That's the rule. You asked for 1, 2, 3, right? Instead of giving 1, 2, 3, you give underscore 1, 2, 3. Then it is allowed. Because first character I have taken as underscore, na? 1, 2, 3 you give. It's successfully compiled. Yes, it's allowed. Understood? Next, keywords cannot be used as what Java identifies. See, if I give A comma B, no problem at all. But if I give float, okay, static is the keyword and transient is also a keyword and final is also a keyword. Understood? Static, transient, final. These are all what? Keywords. But here I am taking all those keywords as what? Variables. Is it allowed? No. You are getting error. Illegal start of type. Semicolon expected. Got it clear? Next. There is no length limit for Java identifiers. No length limit. That means you can give a variable name with any length. It is perfectly valid. See, like this. Perfectly valid. But it's not good to give like this. It's very, see, if you use short names, it's very comfortable for us. No length limit for Java identifiers. No commas, blank spaces allowed. Okay. Identifiers case sensitive. You mean I have given small x and capital X too. That's successfully accepted. Small x is a separate variable and capital X is a separate variable. Okay. Predefined class names and interface names also can be used as identifiers. That means I have taken system class, okay, and I have taken runnable interface names. Those are the predefined class. System is a predefined class name and runnable is a predefined interface name. That means predefined. What is predefined? Provided by scientist. Got it? So this is successfully accepted. Got it, Andy? Yes. So this is nothing but identifiers. So what we have discussed, token, the first one is whatever the token is nothing but individual units in a program is nothing but token. 5 types: keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. Keywords nothing but predefined, which have some predefined meaning defined to the compiler. Okay, cannot be used as identifiers, written in lowercase, also known as reserved words. 53 reserved words are there. In that 3 reserved literals, 50 keywords, in that 48 user keywords and 2 unused keywords that I have listed here. And identifiers means what? As a programmer or developer, if we give names, that means either it may be variables or array names or methods, classes, interfaces or packages names. Whatever names the programmer is going to provide, those we are calling it as identifiers. And these are the rules of the identifiers. Got it? Next one. So what is mean by a variable? Generally we have names, na? Yes. For what purpose? To identify. Yes or no? We have names to identify. Okay. Let's assume that we don't have any names. Then is it possible to identify? Yes, of course. Without name also I can recognize, but it's very difficult for me to recognize. In a crowd or in some people, right? Some 100 people or there, 50 people are there. In that, if I want to call you, if you have a name, I can easily recognize you and I can call with your name. If I don't know your name, then what? Compulsory, it's possible to do that, to call you without knowing your name, but still it's very difficult for me. Understood or not? In the same way, in the computer memory, there are a lot of memory locations available. In that memory locations, hundreds of values, thousands of values are there. If you want to identify a particular value in the memory location of a computer, what you are going to do is, for each and every memory location, you are giving a name. For each and every memory location, you are giving a name. And that name is known as variable. Okay. Every location, you are giving a name. That name we are calling it as what? Variable. See, some block of memory created and for that I am putting the name as what? A. If I want to print this 10, I'll print A. Whenever I print A is what known as referring to that particular memory location. Na? So, to whichever the memory location that A is referring, in that memory location, whatever the value is there, that value will be printed. Got it clear? So, variable is nothing but it is a name that is used to identify a value in the memory location of a computer. So that variable value, the name itself saying variable, varying. See, you can change the variable value. You may or may not change. It depends on you. Depends on your program execution and depends on your program. Sometimes you may change the value of the variable or sometimes you can use the same value too. Got it or not? Okay. So for each and every memory location, we are giving a name and that name we are calling it as a variable. Okay. So variable is a name that is used to identify a value in the memory location of a computer. Got it? Yes. This is nothing but variable. And next, data type. Okay. So what is mean by data type? First of all, let me explain. If there is no memory, okay, sorry, if there is no data type, assume that if there is no data type in Java, then what is the problem? First of all, I'll explain you. Okay. Okay. Let us assume that we don't have data type. For a few minutes, let's forget about data type concept. Okay, I'll tell you what is the exact usage of data type. Okay, two examples I'll tell you. Here we have one variable a which consists of 10 and variable b which consists of very bigger value. Got it? Now we are assuming now don't have any data type. Let's assume that the computer system has considered, if the computer or system considers this a value, okay, system considers this a value, then it will allocate a small amount of memory, because a value is 10, very small value, na? It will allocate a small amount of memory. In that small amount of memory, this a value will fit perfectly. What about the b value? It's not fit here because it's a very small memory. The b value cannot fit into this small amount of memory. But the computer has considered a value. Because the computer has considered, system has considered a value, it allocates a small amount of memory for a and b. In that small amount of memory, a is fitted properly and b cannot fit. Coming to, yeah, okay, Shweta, I'll send the recording. Coming to b, here we have a very bigger value. If the system considers that value, then it will allocate a big amount of memory. I mean, more memory it will allocate. In that big amount of memory, this b value will fit perfectly because it is a bigger value. What about a? So much of memory will be wasted here. That means if the computer considers, if there is no data type, we have two types of problems. Either we have insufficient memory or we have wastage of memory. Yes or no? Either we have insufficient memory or we have wastage of memory. Okay. These are the two problems here. Okay. This is one example. If there is no data type, who is going to give this a value and b value? As a programmer, I am going to give. I know how much memory is needed for a and how much memory is needed for b. Understood my point or not? I am going to give the values, right? Got it? One more example I'll tell you. Say example, you went to the mall for buying a t-shirt. Okay. So if you are, say example, to buy a t-shirt, you went to the mall. Okay, yours is medium, but you have taken the small. Say example, if the t-shirts manufacturing company has manufactured only a small size t-shirts, then it is suitable for the people who are very lean, not for the people who are stuffed. Say example, if the if the t-shirts manufacturer company, they have stitched only, manufactured only the triple XL t-shirts. That's suitable for the people who are very fatty, not for the lean people. That's why what they did, they have manufactured the t-shirts in different sizes like small, medium, large, XL, double XL, triple XL, like that. Because you are the buyer, you know what exactly is suitable for you. What they are doing, what the company is doing, it is providing the t-shirts in different sizes. As a buyer, as a customer, you know what's your size, then you can choose that particular t-shirt which is very much fit perfectly for you. Then no question of tight and no question of loose. Perfectly it is suitable for you. The same thing applied here also for data types. It is the one that is going to specify two things about a variable. It is going to specify two things about a variable. How much memory a variable requires and what type of value you are going to store into the variable. How much memory a variable requires, what type of value you are going to store into the variable, either integer value or float value or character value or string value. What value you are going to store into the variable, that is decided by data type. How much memory needed for a variable, that also decided by data type only. So data type is going to specify two things about the variable: the quantity of memory required for the variable and the type of value stored into the variable. Say example, let us consider here. Int a is equals to 10. In Java, int occupies 4 bytes, float occupies 4 bytes, double occupies 8 bytes. Okay. Here, a variable. Now I'll ask one question. Let's consider this one, x, int x. Okay, now we'll ask. Okay, you please tell me, x is a variable here, right? How much memory that x variable needs? You'll say what? 4 bindu. How you are going to say that? By seeing this data type only, you are telling that x variable requires 4 bytes of memory. And next I'll ask another question. What value you are going to store into that x variable? You'll say integer value. How you are saying that point? By seeing this data type only. Because I have mentioned int there, by seeing that you can say that, okay, bindu in x, you are going to store integer value. And x is going to occupy 4 bytes of memory. These 2 points you are saying by seeing this data type only. Got it? Let us assume that there is no data type at all. Now I'll ask the same question here. How much memory a variable y requires? Don't know. What value you are going to store into the variable y? You don't know. Why? Because there is no data type before the variable name. That's why you can't say how much memory is needed for that and what value you are going to store. Both are not possible. That is the use of data type here. Understood? Any doubts here?
Bindu, even how bigger the value is, it just takes 4 bytes.
Integer will have some range. Up to that range, it will occupy 4 bytes of memory only. Once it crosses that range, then automatically you need to go for it will automatically raises the error. Okay, so then you need to choose another data type. See here, byte occupies 1 byte of memory, Pravalika, whose range is minus 128 to plus 127. Up to that range, you can use the byte variable. You can use the byte data type. If that size exceeds, that means you want to store 30,000 into a variable called byte a, not possible. Byte a is equals to 30,000, not possible, because the range is minus 128 to plus 127. It's exceeded the range. That's why you will going to choose this short. More than that, the scientist has provided some ranges too. If our value fit in that particular range, then you can choose the data type. Otherwise, you will go with another data type.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So these data types are classified into 2 categories. One is primitive data types, another one is reference data types. Primitive data types and reference data types. Okay, so these primitive data types we can call it as predefined, fundamental, built-in, and primary data types. Primitive data types are nothing but predefined data types, fundamental data types, built-in data types, and primary data types. Anything you can call it as. And next one is reference data types. Okay, so next primitive data types we need to discuss. Okay, so what are primitive data types available, then what are reference data types available, and what is mean by literal. Okay, what is mean by literal, and what are constants. Okay, what is a constant, and naming conventions or naming rules in Java. So Javas of people, so actually if you go for C or C++, there the classes, the functions, the variables, constants, everything you are writing in normal small letters. No, it leads to confusion. You can confuse which one is class, which one is variable, which one is see no access specifiers, which one is a function. You will get confused. That's why the scientist has given some conventions or rules. Okay, so these are all the rules that we need to discuss. Actually here we have 6 mentioned, no, but still we have 4 more. 10 naming conventions are there, that also I will list out. And next one, what is nothing but what are all the comments available, and Java supports 3 types of comments that we need to discuss. Next one is a structure of a Java program. What is the structure of Java program? Okay, so that, and simple Java program. So once it is done, no, then we'll go for the next topics. Okay, we'll start writing the program.